random numbers in Excel. So you know you can use like equals rand to get something between 0 and 1. And if you press F9 on a PC or Command equals on a Mac, it changes, right? But the problem is it changes every time the spreadsheet recalculates. So that makes Solver upset, because Solver depends on recalculating the spreadsheet with a tiny change and expecting to see a tiny change in the results. But if there's randomness, it might get a huge change in the results. Also, it's not reproducible. Hard to go back and check what happened for the random numbers you just saw. So if you're trying to debug something, you're like, whoa, something crazy just happened. I want to see what's going on in my sheet with that. But then you press, like even typing something in some other cell will recalculate the spreadsheet. So we want reproducible random numbers also, that way if I share it with another scientist, they will see exactly what I saw. So we want more reproducible science research. So in R and Python, we want to be able to set a seed for random numbers. And you always get the same random numbers if you set the same seed. So R and Python can do that automatically. In Excel, you can't set the seed for functions like equals rand. But what I've done here is re-implemented the algorithm that Excel uses to do rand, but in a way that you can set the seed. So the way Excel generates random numbers, it starts with 3 random numbers, each between like 0 and 30,000, or 1 and 30,000. And then it takes it, multiplies it by something, takes it mod something else, does that for all 3 of them. Each of those individually is a sort of bad random number generator, like it's okay, but then it combines all 3 of them and that makes it a little better. And it's got the name of the algorithm there. But right now, these 3 numbers are the seed. And it does that mod operation over and over again. But to make life simple, I want to have just 1 seed. So like set a single number and then I'll get a certain stream of random variables. So what I've done here is I put this cell, you can set a seed value there, and over here, it takes that seed value, it just copies it from over there, and then it does that similar, multiply it by something, take it mod something else to generate more random numbers, a pseudo-random. And then it takes these 3 things as the seed for the first, for the 3 over here. So if I set this seed, let's set it to, how about 2? So memorize those numbers. If I set it to 3, I get those. If I set it back to 2, I get those numbers back again. So now I can use this column somewhere else on some other sheet, and then if I update the seed, I'll get new random numbers here. And then I also have space to generate a second random number and a third random number. And sometimes you want normals instead of uniforms, and this is a nice mathematical way to generate normals instead of uniforms, or take uniforms and turn them into normals. It's a formula I could never remember for myself, but once I got it hard-coded here, I don't have to remember it. All right, so that's how you can use random numbers with Solver. You just keep the seed the same, and it gets the same random values each time.
I was going to ask if there's a lock function on the random, but...
No. And you might think, well, should I really be picky about random number generators? There's a famous case study where someone was doing some physics simulation, and they tried 5 different random number generators, and they all gave the wrong answer. There was some pattern left in the random numbers that when you mix it through this physics simulation, you got the wrong thing. So I have a PowerPoint file about random numbers and pseudorandom and stuff. I think it's linked from the course pack. You can go take a look.